Welcome back to Get Fit with Nick and Nala, where I talk about fitness, attitude, and nutrition. And today we're talking all about caffeine. So in this video today, I'm going to talk about 5 different things about caffeine. Now, Nala doesn't have much experience in this topic, but I do. So let's talk about how does caffeine work, the benefits of caffeine, the downsides of caffeine, when to take a break off caffeine, and how to take a break off caffeine. So the first topic, number 1, let's talk about how does caffeine work. So there is a sleep hormone or a neurotransmitter in our brain called adenosine, which is a sleep hormone. Now what adenosine does, there's receptors in your brain that adenosine kind of lays into, and what caffeine does is, since it's a stimulator, it actually blocks those adenosine hormones and takes its place. Now after a while, when your body is an adaptive system, so once it adapts to this, you're gonna have to drink more and more caffeine to feel the same effects. This is because your body actually creates new receptors because it needs room so adenosine can lay in there. But then when you start drinking more caffeine, what it does is it blocks those adenosine hormone and it takes its place again. So thus, that's why you always need more and more and more caffeine. Now with the adenosine hormone being blocked, it actually leaves more room for the happy hormone, which is dopamine, to flood in, and that's why caffeine is a drug, and it can be actually somewhat addictive. The second thing now, let's talk about the benefits of caffeine. So the benefits, and this is actually speaking from articles like always, and also based upon my own experience. The benefits of caffeine is going to be, the first one is it raises epinephrine, which is an adrenaline in the blood. And epinephrine is a hormone in the body that actually plays a big role in the fight or flight response, such as if you're going to give a big speech, that's kind of like the fight response. It gives you the guts and courage to confront that. And let's say, for instance, you're walking down the street, there's a big dog down there, and it's going to give you that either fight or flight. In most cases, probably flight and run away from that situation. The benefits other caffeine, according to the articles I read, is lowering risk of stroke, diabetes, certain cancers, and so on and so forth. And then the next benefit of caffeine that I've noticed for myself is actually improved concentration and big time improved mood. All right, so your third topic today of caffeine is downsides. So Nala left the video, she's distracted by someone in the video, or in the window, excuse me. So your body is like I said earlier, your body is adaptive. So what it's gonna do, of course, when you're drinking so much caffeine, your body's gonna adapt to it. Thus, you're gonna have to drink more and more and more caffeine, making it addictive. When you're addicted, you're gonna be needing more and more caffeine just to feel the same effects. So once this happens, you're gonna start noticing things like insomnia, which is trouble sleeping, or trouble staying asleep. And you're gonna notice trouble sleeping. You're also gonna notice headaches. You're also gonna notice that you're gonna become easily irritable and dysfunctional when you don't have your daily dose of caffeine, which in this case scenario, this is how I kind of realized in myself that I needed to start cutting down on caffeine, because I was intaking anywhere from 700 to 1,000 milligrams a day of caffeine. And yes, I'm not BSing you guys. It's actually true. I've been doing it since I was 18. I'm 26 now, and for the longest time, I felt anxious, just increased levels of anxiety. I could never fall asleep, or I could fall asleep. I could never stay asleep. Kind of little rising levels of depression. So that I kind of took it upon myself, hey, maybe I need to try cutting down levels of caffeine, go all the way down to 0, and see maybe if this affects and this helps out my anxiety issues and my insomnia issues. And that brings me to the topic number 4, which is when to take a break off caffeine. And like I mentioned earlier, it's when you're having trouble sleeping, increased levels of anxiety, and also based on the research I read, intaking more than 400 milligrams per day on average, just to feel the same effects of the kind of happy feeling, or even increased production and increased concentration and increased mood, then you should probably think about cutting back caffeine. All right, now let's talk about our 5th and final topic today about caffeine. So it's how to cut out caffeine. So for me, there are 2 different ways, and I chose the second one because I think that was the better one. Number 1 is cold turkey. And honestly, cold turkey for me is never the way to go, especially when it comes to caffeine, or if you're trying to cut out any like sugary substances, because that sucks. So The reason why you want to go cold turkey is if you want to just feel the benefits right away. Now, once you feel cold turkey, you can actually, some people feel the effects of no caffeine within a few hours. Some of them, it might take a day. Now, in order to feel the benefits of no caffeine, it takes people anywhere from 2 to 9 days. Now, for me, I chose the second one, which is I deloaded it off. I gradually decreased my intake per week of caffeine. So this is how I did it, and this is how I recommend that you guys do it. I also want to say that before you guys even think about, if you guys are not avid caffeine drinkers, I recommend you consult with your physician first and see if it is beneficial for you. But anyways, so the second way is to cut it out gradually. So the way I did it, I based it upon 700 milligrams a day. So for the first week, I did it on a 4-week step-by-step process. On the first week, what I did is took 700 times, I took 25% of that. And so it was roughly 600 to 700 that I did actually. And I remember the first week I cut down to 450 milligrams per day. So that was Monday through Saturday. I cut down to 650 milligrams or 450 milligrams a day. The following week, week number 2, I did 300 milligrams. So that's 50%. And then week number 3, 75% of my total daily intake, which was roughly 150 milligrams of caffeine. And right around week 3 is when I really started to feel it. It kind of sucked. I did increase, you can ask, my wife can be a witness to this. Every time I woke up, she would sometimes ask, are you depressed? Something wrong? And no, I kind of needed to be left alone because I did kind of feel irritable, a little bit kind of down, and just very low energy levels. I work construction, and I work roughly 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. and I was still hitting the gym, but it did suck. It did suck. But I know for sure in the long haul it was going to be worth it. So now let's talk about the last week. The last week is when you go 100% off caffeine. The 4th week, I went 0 milligrams of caffeine, and let me tell you, that sucked. So I actually didn't even hit the gym. I hit the gym once, and I usually go Monday. Well, just to keep it simple, I go 5 days a week, and then do some kind of yoga or stretching twice a week. I only went to the gym once, and then I actually slept at least 9 hours a night, every single night. Sometimes even 10 hours. And then I still felt tired. I felt lazy at work. I couldn't even function. I couldn't even think. I was messing up a lot. And I was feeling very irritable. Good thing my work allows me to have some earphones in so I can listen to some podcasts, some comedy music. That helped out a lot. But my recommendation for you guys is to take the second way of cutting out caffeine, not going cold turkey, because that's a danger zone. So for the second way, just to be warned, once you go to that 4th week of 0 milligrams of caffeine, it's gonna suck. But now fast forward, this is roughly a week after that. I did get back on caffeine, but now I'm intaking less than what I was previously. Now I recommend taking every 4 to 6 months, taking a week off of caffeine, and that includes anything: alcohol, caffeine, so anything that can be harmful to your body. So caffeine and alcohol are 2 big ones. I do plan on taking a week off of alcohol coming here soon. So in the future, just for caffeine, I recommend taking the second step and cutting down gradually 25%, 50%, 75%, and then down to 100%. But then I did notice when I took that first sip of black coffee, I was off the walls. I was kind of running around in a matter of like 4 hours because I checked my weight in the mornings. I was doing some tasks, some errands, and then after around 4 hours, I lost like 5 pounds just because I was running around everywhere. I was off the walls, but it felt great. And then the week after that, I only stuck to 1 cup of coffee a day, which is, I looked up the coffee that I take. It was roughly 100 milligrams of caffeine. And then I drink Bubbler because that's only 69 milligrams of natural caffeine. And it's way better than the Ghost energy drinks or the Bang energy drinks that I was drinking before. So that's my recommendation for you guys, is to do the second step and to gradually decrease on your caffeine. And again, I'm going to say it once more. It's going from 25%, 50 to 75, and down to 100% off your caffeine, which is 0 milligrams of caffeine. So there you guys have it. Those are 5 topics I wanted to talk about today. So just really quick, I know sometimes I talk fast, I just get too excited about certain things. So I just want to give a quick review of what we just discussed. So we talked about how does caffeine work. So what it does, it blocks adenosine, which is a sleep hormone, and thus making you more alert, making you more awake. Second thing, we talked about benefits of caffeine. The benefits of caffeine is that it raises epinephrine, which is also known as adrenaline, in your blood. And then we talked about it improves concentration, mood, lowers risk of stroke, certain diabetes, and certain cancers. Third thing we talked about was downsides. Downside of caffeine was easily irritable or dysfunctional if you don't have your daily dose of caffeine. Too much caffeine based on sensitivity can actually cause headaches, tiredness, anxiety, depression sometimes, and when to take a break off caffeine was the fourth thing we talked about, and that's when you actually start experiencing things like anxiety, insomnia, trouble sleeping, and also if you need to take anywhere more than 400 milligrams a day just to actually be functional. And the fifth and final thing we talked about was how to cut out caffeine. And in that topic, we talked about two different ways. First one is going cold turkey, which is right away just dropping the ball and going 0 milligrams of caffeine per day. And the second way is going, what I did is gradually in 25% increments, dropping your caffeine levels until the fourth week, where you actually reach levels of 0 milligrams of caffeine. And then you can restart your caffeine levels. And I also recommended an advice saying that every 4 to 6 months you should take a week off just to give your body some time to recuperate from taking caffeine. And you can do this with any other substance such as alcohol. So thank you guys very much for tuning in for Get Fit with Nick and Nala here on my channel today. Nala's over there by the window watching strangers. But if you guys liked anything in this video, disliked anything in this video, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, any way I can improve this video content, please leave a comment below. If you did like it, if you found it a little bit useful, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next Sunday. Thank you.